Welcome back. I'm Zach, your friendly neighborhood wedding planner. Sitting here today in Mexico City. It's hotter than bejesus, so we are all having cocktails. Today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest factors of your wedding that can control so many different things. Your budget, your timeline, your vibe, all of that. And that is your guest list. So today we're going to talk about your guest list and specifically 4 different categories that are going to make your guest list be easy and fun and not be the end of the world that you think it's going to be. So point number 1 we're going to be talking about today is the importance of your guest list and how that guest list controls a number of things. If you want to stay within budget, which of course you're going to stay in budget or you wouldn't be listening to me, you're going to have to make some decisions. It's a great opportunity to really piss a lot of people off if you don't do the guest list properly and handle the situation properly when you're talking to friends and family. Again, we got onto the same page at the beginning of this. We know what the vibe is. We want the vibe to be, for example, small, 50 guests maximum, 50, 60 guests maximum. We want the focus to be on food, beverage, and the DJ. Everything else doesn't really matter to us. So you're gonna do your guest list. 50, 60 people, you might sound like a lot, but the minute you start writing down, each of you starts writing down your people in your life, you're gonna hit 60 or 30 each real fast. So what you want to do here is really pay a lot of close attention to the guest list because it will either blow your budget or blow your vibe. You've already determined what your budget is going to be. So that's set. That's a given. Now you're going to control how much money you spend on each guest. That's going to depend on where you want to put the money. Using the same example I was just referring to, if your main focus is going to be food, beverage, and DJ, but you don't care about the location, you couldn't have a flower there if you wanted one, you're going to be able to put a lot more money towards higher quality cocktails. Maybe, having a number of bars, specialty bars, having amazing food, but that's the focus. You just got white linens on, long table with basic glasses and all of that because it's all about the food. It's all about that experience. It's about the celebration and the wine and the alcohol. If you took that same budget and put 50 people in, you're going to get this certain level. If you put 100 people in, that experience is going to drop because you can't have filet mignon or, your favorite vegan whatever. You're going to be able to have more options for people and have it be more like a real dinner party, a wedding reception, rubber chicken situation. So that's why you really want to get clear on how many people at this stage that is going to match your budget number per person. So your next question is going to be, well, how do we get the guest list down? Here's the best way that I have come up with. First, you want to prioritize your guests. And no, we are going to have the directions to a game that I'm about to talk about in the description below. You can just download that. So don't feel like you got to write all this stuff down right now. What you want to do is prioritize. First of all, you both are going to sit down and just do a name dump. Each on a piece of paper, name dump. Everyone that you could possibly think of that you want to have at your wedding. You see where that number comes in. So say it comes in at 145 people. You're including your dental hygienist, you're including the fireman, the cat out of the tree at some point, whatever. You're including everybody. Then you go through that list and you do your first swipe of that list. You're going to go through it and you're going to eliminate people. You're like, no. And then you're going to put your paper down. Here comes the fun part, the game. So you and your partner sit down, write out your own guest list, and then you hand the guest list over to the other person. They read it, they can laugh at some of the choices that you've made and leave it at that for now. Do make sure these pieces of paper all throughout this process are kept separately and kept hidden. I'll tell you a cautionary tale about that in a little bit. Then you go to the bank, you take out 4 or 5 or 6 $100 bills. You're going to determine how many $100 bills you're going to take out, dividing the number of guests that you have currently invited divided by your budget. That's your per person cost, right? So that's what it's now going to cost. So if it's $500 a person, $1,000 a person, take out the appropriate number of $100 bills. Then you get home, you hand your list to your partner, you swap lists at this point, and they start reading off the names on your list. And what you do is you take those $4, $5, $6, $7,000 bills, the $100 bills, and ask yourself this question when they say the person's name. Would I take this person out on the town for one night and spend $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, or $1,000 on this person? If the answer is no, they should not be at your wedding. Does that sound harsh? Yeah, but just because I just made it really real, because that's what you're doing. You're entertaining someone for a night to enjoy your wedding, and then you're getting them fed and boozed for an evening. Would you do that with this person? I guarantee you, once you've completed this process, the two of you, that your guest list will be in half, if not smaller. That is how you control your budget. That is how you control the vibe of your event, and that's how you go without spending and inviting the wrong people. Spending money on the wrong people and inviting the wrong people. So after you've gotten those lists, you want to go back through them and start a fresh list with the people that are invited, that you've decided to invite to your wedding at this point. You're then going to go through through as a couple and grade these people. I know that sounds really harsh, but there's a reason. A people, parents if you like them. The most important inner circle people will get an A. How to define that? If they were not at your wedding wouldn't be complete. That's an A person. A B person is a really, really close friend. You wouldn't be devastated if they weren't there. It would be a much better experience if they were there with you. C levels are other friends, people that you party with, people that you do trips with, but they might not be your closest. Like they may not come to the wedding and you're like, okay, that's fine. I invited you. I didn't go to your wedding either, so we're fine. That's a C level person. The A level people are the people that you're gonna wanna check with, and we'll talk about that in another video, but those are the people you're gonna wanna check with and make sure that they are aligned and available for your wedding day. B and C don't hold that power. So once you've done that, take that piece of paper and put it away for now. Here's a cautionary tale. The reason I said this, I coach people to do this all the time. I did not coach them to put it away. I had a client call me in tears. They had left the list on their dining room table, had friends over, had people over that were C-level people mixed with A-level people and B-level people, and they found the list, and it became a problem because, well, I didn't realize I was a C-level person. I thought I was at least a B, and so don't do that. Put it away. Ultimately, we'll have you just burn it once it's all in the computer, but just make sure that's gone, because that would not be a good look. So now that you have this complete list that is hidden away, pull it out one more time, and we want you to go through it and look for the cost per person at this point. So you're going to take the budget that you had and divide it by this final, quote unquote, final guest list. That number is going to be your cost per person. This is a great opportunity to see if you need to change your expectation. Either you're going to have, if the numbers don't work for what the level of event that you want, you're going to have a choice. You're either going to increase your budget at this point, or you're going to have to reduce your guest list. That is just the way it is. That's how these things work. It's not fun, but it's the reality. So make that choice now. So moving forward, you're clear in your communication with your guests and with yourselves. I'm Zach Campbell. I've done over 350 weddings and events worldwide. I want you to learn from my mistakes, my wins, and my learning, because I've made a lot of them, on how to have a stress-free, on budget, amazing, amazing wedding day. And by the way, today is brought to you by Aperol Spritz.